Welcome to StopFake, the place where we uncover disinformation about Ukraine and set the record straight. I'm Irena Chalupa, and I'm delighted to present this week's edition. Among the fakes this week, we present Yulia Tymoshenko is planning a coup. New law curtails freedom of assembly. Civil servants forced to wear traditional Ukrainian clothes against their will. Pawnshops proliferate in Ukraine as the country plunges into poverty. That's this week's edition of Stop Fake News. So let's get to it. A major German newspaper reports that former Ukrainian Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko is preparing a political coup, claimed the Russian website Голос Правды. The odious Yulia Tymoshenko, who has lately not been in the spotlight, is planning to usurp power in Ukraine, claims the website, citing the reputable German daily Frankfurter Rundschau. Other Russian sites, such as Ukraina.ru and Vesti.ru, published even more menacing headlines, such as Tymoshenko preparing to snatch power. The woman with the braid is taking advantage of chaos in Ukraine, playing on the word kosa, which in Russian means both braid, as in Tymoshenko's famous braided hairstyle, and also scythe, the farming tool for cutting grain. The actual headline in the German newspaper reads as follows: Yulia Tymoshenko wants to return to power. The sentence that the Russian sites have distorted says absolutely nothing about a putsch or a coup. Having gotten rich in the gas business, Tymoshenko is again ready to fight for power. The article is a straightforward analytical news story about Tymoshenko's work as a member of the Ukrainian parliament. On March 14th, Ukraina.ru featured a news item claiming that freedom of assembly is being curtailed in Ukraine. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights criticized the human rights situation in Ukraine, in particular Law number 3587 on peaceful assembly, because it allows arbitrary bans on demonstrations and restrictions on public gatherings through court decisions, writes the website. The Ukraina.ru story does refer to the official UN report on human rights in Ukraine, and that report does in fact address Law number 3587, a draft law that was registered on December 7, 2015, and has not yet been passed. According to the UN report, the draft generally meets required international standards, but does contain certain provisions which may curtail freedom of assembly, because it requires notification 2 days prior to assembly. Furthermore, the draft foresees judicial discretion in prohibiting rallies that threaten public order and safety. This law has not been passed, but Ukraina.ru makes no mention of this fact and presents the legislation as a done deal. The information agency called Новостное агентство Харкова reported that Dnipropetrovsk city government employees were ordered to wear Ukrainian national clothes to work. Seemingly, City Mayor Boris Filatov ordered City Hall workers to wear traditional Ukrainian embroidered shirts every Wednesday. This story was quickly reposted by Голос Правды. Both Новостное агентство Харкова and Голос Правды regularly publish fake stories about events in Ukraine that never actually happened. Dnipropetrovsk, in fact, never issued such an order to its employees. Новостное агентство Харкова mixed up Dnipropetrovsk with Dniprodzerzhinsk, a neighboring city that did in fact decide to have a weekly Ukrainian embroidery day. This move is the brainchild of Dniprodzerzhinsk City Secretary Alexander Zalewski and is only a recommendation. His initiative was supported by the city's mayor, and the first embroidery day saw many people come to work wearing traditional Ukrainian embroideries. Somehow it put everyone in a better mood, said Zalewski. Surely that's a good thing, no? Now if they could just do something with that name, Dniprodzerzhinsk, phew. Russia's national television channel Rossiya 24 reported that the number of pawnshops in Ukraine was skyrocketing because the economic conditions in the country had grown so dire. This is a golden age for pawnshops in Ukraine. According to some reports, their number has grown by a third, claims Rossiya 24 journalist Ekaterina Mironova. Offices where you can get fast money are popping up everywhere, in shopping malls, in the subway, even in the courtyard, says Mironova. According to Ukraine's National Committee on Financial Services Regulation, the number of actual pawn shops operating in Ukraine in 2015 was 479. In 2014, there were 478, and in 2013, 483 pawn shops. In 2015, the number of pawn shops increased from the previous year by a grand total of 1. That's it for this week. You can always find fresh fakes set straight on the StopFake website. Be vigilant. Beware of fakes. If you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, send it to us for a truth autopsy. We'll see you next week. I'm Irena Chalupa, and this is StopFake. Thanks for watching.